I decided to drop a GoPro camera into one of my crab pots to see what happens down there in the secret world of crabs. And got to tell you, man, I was pretty blown away with what I saw down there. I could not believe the activity that goes on. So this crab hits the ground, and within seconds, bang, there's a crab right there. Now I must have pretty much dropped this crab pot right on his head. Anyway, hits the ground. You can see some little fish cruising around. There's some little silver brim there cruising around. Nothing much happens now for the next I don't know, minute or so or whatever, but what you will see shortly is you'll start to see some fish come in and check out this bait. There's some little skippy and there's some silver brim and stuff getting around, but that movement you can see in the crab pot there is actually, and this is great insight, is actually the float on the surface being pulled along by the wind, lifting the crab pot off the bottom of the sea floor there, which means that, well, made me realise that I need to actually modify these crab pots. So the plan is to put some lead weights around that top ring. If anyone's got any suggestions, better ways to stop this from happening, apart from not fishing for crabs when it's windy with crab nets, yeah, by all means drop a comment below. But anyway, as you can see at the moment, there's not a great deal happening, but if you keep watching, you will see fish will start to come in and start to have a close look at this meat that's in the trap and take a great deal of interest. So we'll just wait for a few minutes and just watch and see what happens. So coming in from the left now, we have a little skippy and another little skippy. There's actually a little school of these fellas there, and as you can see, you can actually see the net moving up and down. He's spooking him, but he's got used to it a bit now, and his mates are coming in. They're just sort of a bit nervous as well, but now they're happy that that's not a threat. They are into it, and before long you will see lots of fish hook into that bait. And this is also why it's important to make sure your baits have a good cage around them, because fish will come in if there's fish around and they will decimate that bait in minutes. So in the background we had a little silver brim there. He's taken off, but you'll see in a minute, here he comes back again. When a silver brim grabs hold of a bait, you watch if in a minute when he grabs hold of it. Oh, and there's a little whiting just went across the top. Look at him go, look, just ripping into it. There's a lovely looking whiting there. Another silver brim, and so everyone's starting to get on the action now. Old mate Whiting's keen as, having a look around, see what's going on, and Skippy are just having a feed. So far, no crabs, but it's only been a couple minutes. The one that I dropped the net next to, he must have just got a bit of a fright and took off. But if we just wait a couple more minutes here, any minute now, here he comes, Mr. Crabbo. He's got the guns out, cruising around, seeing what's going on, and he's just cruised past and gone off to the right. Now I thought that any second he was going to come in from the right and jump on the pot, but here comes another one. This is a different crab, and these are good looking, good sized blueies too. So he's wandered in, got the scent, and he is going to hook in. Now this is the bit that I was wondering about, because that crab trap is still moving, but it doesn't seem to worry him too much. He's sort of lifting his bum up because it's moving, like, yeah, I'm not too comfortable with that, but he's more concerned about the feed he's got in front of him. So here he goes, he's got both hands in, and any minute now he's going to start munging down on that tucker, which, by the way, in there at the moment is lamb necks, lamb rosettes you might call it. Actually, to be perfectly honest with you, they're goat rosettes. We got a goat recently, and we used the neck as bait. One good thing about goat necks, look at him, he's into it. He's a hungry crab, man. He's going to smash that He's loving it. So if you want to know a good bait for crabs, goat necks or lamb necks. So anyway, yeah, the goat we got, we got some necks off it, and the great thing about that is the neck bone has got a hole in the middle, so you can put a cable tie through and tie it to your net if you want. But in this occasion here, we just put the baits inside these plastic nets, as you can see. Now he has just taken off because look at that big ass stingray just went cruising by. All the fish took off, crabs took off. No one likes a stingray. So old mate Crab said, "Nah, I am out of here." So let's just see what happens next. Another one comes in from the left. Now this fella, I don't know if it's the same crab or not. It may have been, but he looks bigger. Anyway, he's gonna now take over and mung down on that goat neck. All the skippy is still hanging around, and it is just on for young and old. So this is actually taken in about 5.5 meters of water in an estuary environment, where I thought, you know, we may see a couple of fish. We always normally get crabs there, but to see how much life there is down there and how much activity there is in that environment is actually really encouraging, because it means that it's a healthy aquifer, a healthy waterway, and hopefully will stay that way for years to come, and everybody can enjoy it. Makes it more important. It makes it highlight how important it is to only take your bag limit when you're crabbing, or just enough for a feed. You don't have to take your full bag limit. And here we go, is Mike Tyson coming in saying, "I want to take over. I win the title fight. You're out of there, pal." So he's just kicked old mate out, and the other crab's just gone, "I am out of here, man," because that is one big crab. And that is another good sized blue manna crab. And so he's come in, taken over, and now he's going to help himself. So this is what, number 4 I think that we've seen. I'm counting 4, even up to 5 crabs that have attacked this pot since it's been on the bottom. Anyway, so this is not the end of the action. There is more that happens than just this crab. Now I have watched the whole thing through, obviously, because I wanted to see what happened. And the reason I posted this up, because I was blown away, and I thought, well, people would be interested in this stuff. I know I would be if someone else posted up. And I thought, well, I'll put some of my commentary over the top to give you a bit of a heads up on a few details. But as you can see, we've still got whiting there at the top. We've got the skippy there in front, and another little silver brim there. He's cruising around. And old mate Mike Tyson, the crab, is smashing that bait as best he can. Like if that bait wasn't in a basket, it would be gone by now, I reckon. With the fish and the crabs that have been on it, it would be just torn out of there in history. So anyway, now this goes on for a little bit longer. I'm not sure how long it takes, but at some point you'll see, just then actually you saw the fish all take off. So what's happening is there's other predators around that are causing him to take off. We didn't see it in the camera, but at one stage in the future there will be a predator come down, which will and you'll be able to see it on the screen. I won't give it away yet, just keep watching and you will see something new. So yeah, let's just see what happens. Now if I had have been at that crab pot now above in the boat and yanked it up, I would have caught this fella for sure. It's right in the middle of the pot, perfectly situated so that when I pull that net up, he's trapped for all money. But we were too busy dropping the other nets in, and this was actually this was the last net in the string. So this was the last net to go in the water. So we dropped him in and we went back down and started pulling the other ones, and by the time we got to here, about 20 minutes had passed, which is longer than I like to leave nets baking. Really, they really only need, 5-10 minutes. And here we go, coming in from the left now, another crab. Look at this fella. He got his guns out, cruising past, but he's had a look at old Mike Tyson there smashing into that bait and said, nah, he's too big for me, and he's gone. I was thinking to myself, I should have just dropped all my pots in this spot. Like, you know, that's like 5-6 crabs now in that one spot. Good sized blueies. We ended up with, how many crabs did we end up with now? I can't remember. 14 for the day. Between two of us, that was a good feed. And with the size of these crabs, you only need 2, and that's a good meal. Even one on its own's enough. But they're so good, you got to have 2. Anyway, old mate's still smashing that bit of bait. Fish are hanging around. See, the fish won't come near it while the crab's there, because he'll smash it with his claws. You probably can't, well, you can't see it, but normally a crab will have his claw up ready to attack any other fish or anything that comes nearby. So yeah, still munching away there. He's having his fill. Yeah, the skippy are hanging around, and the brim are still doing their thing. Like the amount of people that crab this water, it's no surprise. Well, it actually is surprising that there's so many crabs there. But the amount of people that fish it, when they finish, they drop their baits over the side. These fish and these crabs are well fed. Now, did you see that? That was a shag. I don't know if you saw that. Maybe just rewind it. I wasn't ready for it, but he came in from just like the top middle right down, and just before he hit the screen, the fish just all disappeared in a real hurry. They know the story. They see a shag coming, they are out of there. Clever, eh? Them fishies, they know the story, they know what's going on. But it doesn't take long and they're back hanging around again. Now, this isn't the end. There's still more stuff that happens here. That's what I say, it blew me away how much stuff goes on down here. You're sitting up there in your boat thinking, oh, maybe there's a crab cruising around, jumping in the pot. See him there with his left claw up. He was ready. If there's a fish coming in or another crab around, he'll be ready with that claw to have a crack at him. It's why often you'll only get one crab in your pot, especially these big buggers. But sometimes I've caught 3, 4, 5 in a pot. But the smaller ones. But yeah. This fella is fully happily immersed in his spot there. He's not going anywhere. Quite happy just to sit there all day and have a good feed on that bait. I should have been back by now 5 times and pulled this pot with the activity that's down there. I have certainly learnt a lot by putting a crab pot in putting a GoPro in a crab pot. If I can recommend anything to anyone to try something, and if you like your crabbing, definitely do that. Get a bit of cable tie and tie him up to your pot, drop it down there, watch your video, you'll be surprised what you see, and you can pull that up and have a look at your footage straight away and see what's happening down there and know if there's any crabs around. Probably wouldn't recommend putting a GoPro in every crab pot unless you've got thousands of dollars to spend on cameras. But I can't remember when the next thing happens, but I don't think it's very far from now. Let's just watch and see. I can't even remember what happens, but yeah, that's it. I think old mate here has had enough and gets up and gets going. I think that's what happens, but he's moving around at the moment. Maybe he gets spooked, but either way, he's out of there. And here comes another one in from the left, so maybe he's had a full gut, sees this other fella coming in, thinks, oh well, no great deal. I'm full. I don't want any more. Let this other fella come in and have a feed. So wandering in from our left now is player number 2. Actually, he's about number 6 or 7 now. But old Mike Tyson is out of there, and this fella's moving in. Takes a while to find the bait, but he finally gets in there. And look, I swear that is a much bigger crab, and this is a much better angle because you can really see how he's working that meat and how he's working that that cage to try to get that meat out. Now the big problem here is he is standing on that wire that's lifting and moving like that. Now when I pull the pot up in a minute, this crab is standing on that wire. First thing he's going to do, as soon as that moves, it's going to spook him, and he's going to get out of there. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think I'll get him in the trap? Do you think he'll get away? I mean, if you pull that trap quick enough, you've got him. You'd think so. They're pretty foolproof, the old crab chap, especially since it's actually moving around a lot there. You would think, well, he's kind of got used to it. If it moves, it won't worry him. But check these skippy out, eh? They are just persistent. They're waiting for little bits to come off there, and the old crab's got his claw ready, open, saying, you come in close and you're going to cop this. And he's got his mouth parts right over the top of that meat and smashing it. So them skippy, they are determined. They'll keep trying. And in fact, all the little bits, see how they're to the left of the screen? Well, that's because the tide is actually moving from right to left, and all the little bits. And here comes our next challenger, off to the left. And I don't know if he comes into the trap. I don't think he does. I can't remember. But he's hanging around, and I would suggest that he's seen old mate there smashing into the bait, and he's like, yeah, nah, I'll give that a miss, because this is another good sized crab. You see that? Got the old left swing out, the old left hook. Just giving them a bit of a towel up. Stay away from my bait, stay away from my dinner. But anyway, I think that was the last crab that I see, and I think very shortly you'll see, here he goes. I grab hold of the rope. Maybe not, maybe that was just the wind moving the float again, but you see how much that crab pot's moving. It's actually lifting the crab, which is not a good thing. It's definitely something we need to address, because it's probably costing me crabs, and that's the last thing we need. We want to catch crabs. That's what we're putting the pots in for. Anyhow, any second now, I think. Well, might be a little bit longer. And yeah, I don't remember what happens next. More fish. Nice big whiting just swam through the back. But yeah, very soon you'll see me. You'll see that net yank up, and we might end up with a nice big fat blue swimmer crab in our trap. And he's been there for a while. I think he's pretty comfortable, eh? Nothing would worry him. There was a fair bit of weed down there. Some of these crab pots were coming up chockers full of weed. Now, he's lifted himself up here. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's like he's thinking about moving on. Here we go, pull the crab pot, and he's gone. Out of the trap. Now, it was a slow pull, I will admit it. I was hoping that we would at least get one big fat crab out of that pot. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If my voice was too boring, and you want to watch it again, feel free to turn the volume down. But look, I thought that was the most fascinating footage, and I can guarantee you I'll be doing that again. Thanks, guys. See ya.